Stop the Nonsense, episode 6. I don't know. How many sixes do I have here? Joe Torre? Was Porzingis a 6?
Fuck that guy. He doesn't count.
All right. Well, we were ready to come on here and finally end the Manny Machado saga. The reports were all over the place that he was getting 10 years, $300 million from the San Diego Padres, or the Padres. And right as we start this up, a tweet comes through from Dennis Lin, who is a Padres reporter for The Athletic, and says that the chairman, Ron Fowler, has said, "We do not have a deal. We are continuing discussions." When is this going to end?
Never.
Is it like, I thought the app, we rely on apps, said Machado to San Diego. All the reporters were breaking it. Is he just lying because it's not official and he doesn't want to jump the gun here?
I have no idea.
Did the
Fucking
Yankees
Dennis.
call and say, we'll give you 2 years, 60? This is ridiculous. I was all ready for the dominoes to start falling. I wanted Bryce Harper to go next. We're getting there. Baseball's starting.
I don't even know.
I
thought it was over.
We all did. Every reporter was breaking it. Mark Feinstein, Ken Rosenthal. I think Jeff Passan. I think he had it first.
Yeah.
And it would have been 10 years, $300 million with an opt-out after 5. I got to tell you, if that's the deal, he's not opting out after 5 because then he'd be 31. He's not getting $30 million from anybody after that.
No.
I don't know. We'll continue to monitor it. I mean, to San Diego, if he signs that deal, if it's an official deal, that reeks of A-Rod to Texas.
It reeks of Robinson Cano to Seattle.
Yeah, a little bit. I would go more with A-Rod because Seattle, Cano was 30 at the time, and he was just looking for the biggest deal.
Mm-hmm.
While A-Rod was 25 or 20, I believe he was 25 because he got traded after 3 years and he was 28. So he was 25 and he signs a deal with the last place team, and it's just, the biggest deal ever at the time, which this would be 10 years, $300 million, $30 million a year. But I can't see him staying in San Diego for 10 years if that's what happens, if he signs this deal. I just don't see that. They don't have much going on over there. They got, they'd have an all right lineup. They are young. They got Francisco Mejia in that trade with the Indians last year, the catcher. You got Will Myers, who's a decent player. You got Eric Hosmer, who they pulled from free agency last year or 2 years ago, whenever it was. I don't know. The years fly by. Smash Mouth was right. The years start coming and they don't stop coming. If only we had, given that man more respect when he said it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a little annoyed now.
It could have been over.
It was.
And now we're right back to square one, not knowing what's going on. I hate it.
All right, so John Heyman saying that the Padres owners are telling people there is no deal done, finalized, but obviously someone thinks it's done as the figures have been reported and other interested teams have heard that San Diego is the choice. So, I don't know, maybe he's told other teams, I'm going to San Diego, and they're just ironing out the details. I don't know.
I'm just going to say that Machado's a San Diego Padre.
I think so.
I'm just going to leave it as that.
Okay, so 10 years, $300 million. Would Harper beat that? I don't think so.
He should, but he probably won't.
I think he would. I think he could get more per year if he does a shorter term.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But who knows where these guys are going.
I don't think another team's going to toss out a 10-year, $300 million plus contract, though.
A last place team might, like the Padres just did.
I don't know.
But these competing teams don't seem to want to give out these contracts anymore. It's also reported that when the Yankees talked to Machado, he wanted to beat Stanton's. Yeah, 13-year, $325 million deal, and the Yankees wouldn't go there, nor should they.
No, not at all.
So good for them. Good for them. I know a lot of Yankees fans will probably be mad about it, but these are the same people who complain about big contracts at the end when the players aren't that bad. I mean, aren't that good rather. Um, they're complaining about Ellsbury right now. So that risk is always there that you're going to get a guy who's injury prone. And Ellsbury can't even find the field these days. I don't remember the last time I saw him play.
It's been over a year. Close to it.
The funny thing that him signing at the Padres is because I also wanted to talk about Bruce Bochy, who announced his retirement and used to be manager of the Padres. Of course, he's the manager of the Giants now, and I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer, Bruce Bochy. In San Francisco, he won 3 titles. He led the Padres to the '98 World Series, where they were swept by the greatest team ever, in my opinion. And the funny thing is, he actually has a career record under 500 from all those terrible years in San Diego. He's 1,926 and 1,944, 498 winning percentage. But in San Francisco, he's got a 502 winning percentage, just over 500. But the postseason with San Francisco, he's 36 and 17.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, with 3 World Series titles. And overall in the postseason, 44 and 33. So I think he's going to get a lot of Hall of Fame consideration, and I think he'll eventually get in with what he was able to do in San Francisco in the second half of his career.
I think so.
But
CC also
announced his retirement. You know what's funny about that is he had the press conference, but I've actually, if you listen to his podcast, he does a podcast with Ryan Ruocco called R2C2, and he said this back in like November after he signed. Like once he signed that 1-year deal, he said, "This is going to be it. This is my last year." So everybody knew.
The writing was on the wall.
Yeah, so everybody knew, and I guess he just wanted to have a formal press conference to kick off spring training and kick off the new year for him. Let's get him a ring. He's been a great Yankee.
He has been.
He came in '09, was the big dog for that, first year and second year and third year. He was easily your ace, the bona fide ace. I remember he won the ALCS MVP that year, which I personally thought should have went to A-Rod, but doesn't matter. And then I believe it was 2012 because they didn't make the playoffs in 2013, right? So it was either 2011 or 2012. One of those years where they went back to the ALCS where he won 2 games in the division series, where he just shut down the Orioles. And he was the guy you wanted on the hill when there was a big game. And also he was the guy that would just take the ball any day and say, he wanted to be that. He wanted that challenge. If you remember in '08 what he did with Milwaukee.
Oh, crazy. He was pitching on 3 days rest.
Every 3 days he picked up the ball.
It was crazy.
And he pitched them into the postseason. And, that's the kind of guy that you love. And he's certainly loved by this fan base. I think he's going to have a Hall of Fame debate when his career is up. We'll see. Maybe he could sweeten that resume this year. And he's a great guy in that locker room. That's really why the Yankees wanted him back. What he does for these young guys, a lot of the young pitchers look up to him. He's a camaraderie guy. He takes people out to, when they're in spring training, they go to Lightning games and Magic games. And he's a great leader. And he's gonna be missed when he's gone, but I'm glad to have him back on board for one more year. And everybody remembers that's for you, bitch moment last year when he hit, I forgot who it was that he hit down in Tampa after they had thrown at Austin Romine.
Oh, man.
And he's always done that. He's always done that his whole career. Like, I remember a lot of games against, like, the Red Sox or anybody who they would hit A-Rod, and then he would come back and he'd hit one of theirs. And he was always that pitcher who was going to protect their guys. There's a lot of pitchers who aren't comfortable doing that.
He still did it up until, what was it, last year with, was that last year? Tyler Austin and Joe Kelly? I don't even know. Was that 2 years ago?
That was last year. Yeah, that was last
He was
year.
right in the middle of that. He's like the oldest guy on the field.
Yeah, and he's the Yankees when it comes to like just if you were gonna have a fight between MLB teams, the Yankees probably have the biggest guys.
Yes.
You got CC, you got Judge, you got Stanton. I don't think that's the team you want to fight.
No. It's like the Monstars in Space Jam.
The Monstars. How do you feel about Space Jam 2?
Not happy.
Yeah, me neither. But
Leave it alone.
well, they're gonna make it supposedly. All right. I'm still like on Twitter trying to see.
I got ESPN on.
Yeah, Machado's deal once finalized is the biggest in free agent baseball history. So I guess John Heyman is speaking as if it's done. So
I think it's done.
I guess that it's safe to say he's a Padre. I don't see that team doing much of anything because you're not better. You're not better than the Dodgers. You're not better than the Diamondbacks. You're not better than the Rockies. So at best, you're finishing in fourth in that division. So and
$30 million a year for fourth place.
And I don't think you're better than the Giants either, to be quite honest. So probably finishing in last again. Severino signed a 4-year extension, $40 million with a team option, which gives him 5 years. I was surprised he signed this deal, honestly.
Great contract for the team-wise.
It is, and a lot of times these guys, they come from other countries, and you don't realize that, like, they see $40 million, and he's just grateful to say, hey, I've got $40 million guaranteed dollars coming my way. And a lot of times I think it's the agents who don't want them to sign that. I remember this happened with Jose Reyes, too. Back when he was with the Mets, he signed an extension for, good money, but maybe not what he is worth or valued at on the current market. And the players union got mad, and Reyes was kind of just like, take a walk, man. Like, I grew up poor, and I'm getting this money now. Like, I'm happy with this. And it seems that's kind of where Severino is. He's going to make $10 million a year. Now, he had a horrible second half last year, but his first half, that guy wins the Cy Young Award. And I think he's more the first half than what we saw in the second half.
I think so, too. He blamed the second half on fatigue.
And he wants to get over that, and he wants to be great, and he's got a great work ethic. Again, great leadership. He's got CC there, and CC
trains with Pedro in the offseason,
which I love. By the way, you talk about a great guy to mentor you. And CC has said on his podcast that, hey, you know what? Look, he's young. He's 24. He goes, he's going to get over that hump, and he's going to know how to deal with this fatigue and deal with the tipping pitches. He goes, he's going to be fine. Those struggles aren't going to last as long. So I think he's a guy who certainly could win a Cy Young in the future. And I don't want to start bashing the fan base again, but it seems like the word ace, people don't know what it means. Like, oh, this is our ace, giving up 16 runs in the ALDS. Guys have bad games. Yes, he is your ace. When he is right, he's one of the top 5 pitchers in the American League, bar none. So I don't know what you want, because this happens all the time. You'll bring a guy in here, and he has a bad game. This is our ace. This is who we just signed. Watch, James Paxton. If he has a bad game in April, this is who
we traded Justice Sheffield for this guy?
Yeah.
What were we doing?
Severino is an ace, bona fide. And I feel comfortable with him taking the ball every 5th day. Paxton at number 2 to not get number 3. You know what? I like our rotation. So
Me too.
I'm excited. I'm excited about baseball. I'm excited about the Severino deal. And across town, Jacob deGrom has set an opening day deadline for an extension for him. Now, they have control of him for 2 more years. He's not a free agent until after 2020. Mm-hmm. And now the agent has come out and said if they don't have an extension, he might impose an innings limit. I don't like that. I think
not good.
No, it's not the good look. I don't know if deGrom said that or it was just his agent, but agents work for the players. If the player doesn't want the agent saying it, he could easily say, "Hey, shut up." Right? Like, I need to pitch here. Mm-hmm. And the Mets, do I think deGrom deserves an extension and deserves more money? Yes, I do. He's getting $17 million this year, which he got through arbitration. But why would you? We know the Mets operate as if they're the Kansas City Mets and not the New York Mets. So why would they, give an extension when they still have control to him for 2 more years?
Yeah.
They're not going to do that.
No, it wouldn't be smart at all.
This is something that needs to be. This is why a strike is probably coming up, because the collective bargaining agreement so favors the owners, and the owners, as we've seen with free agency this year, they're taking back control. They're getting away from these outrageous contracts. So we might see a work stoppage when the CBA is up.
Wouldn't shock me one bit.
I hope not. I mean, Adam Wainwright has already come out and said it's inevitable. It's happening.
I think Verlander was touching on it too.
He did.
He's been going on strings of tweets talking about it. So.
I mean, JV's very outspoken on on everything. He will give you his opinion whether you want it or not, and that's cool because you know what? People are kind of getting upset because Severino and DeGrom. Severino was asked about DeGrom's innings limit, and he said, I don't agree with that. He's like, I want to pitch every day. He goes, he's making a lot of money. He's making $17 million, and people are upset about it. Say, he should stay out of his pocket. I don't really think he got in his pocket. First of all, I think he was just saying, hey, he's making $17 million because that's the number that came out. Paxton said, I don't like innings limits because I'm trying to prove to people that I can pitch 200 innings. So people are saying it's becoming a little bit of a vendetta or a little crosstown rivalry back and forth in the media between these guys. I don't think so. I think DeGrom...
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a reach.
I think DeGrom will just shrug it off. DeGrom's the NL Cy Young winner. DeGrom's arguably the best pitcher in baseball. He doesn't need to talk about what's going on with the Yankees.
No.
And the Yankees don't need to talk about what's going on with him. But they were asked a question. And we kill athletes when they don't give us anything, when they say nothing. And then they say something and we go, oh, that wasn't right.
Yep.
Come on.
Anything for a story, basically.
These guys gotta let them have a personality. That's why, the NBA is so big because I think they let their guys have a personality. They're allowed to celebrate. In the NFL, you're allowed to celebrate now. You get to show off your personality a little bit. Baseball, remember Bryce Harper's Make Baseball Fun Again?
Yeah.
We have to. Let these guys bat flip. Let these guys give their opinion in the media. And you know what? If another player wants to get all sensitive about it, that's his issue.
Yeah, it's a kid's game at the end of the day.
Exactly. And they're making millions and millions of dollars doing it. Nick Markakis said it. What did he sign for? $4 million to return to Atlanta?
Yeah, something
and
very, very low.
He could have made more, and they were like, why'd you come back? He said, this is where I want to be. I make good money to play a kid's game.
Yeah.
That's a guy who gets it.
He does get it.
And I just can't wait for baseball to start. What else? My phone's like going off here. No, don't be asking me questions now, people. I'm busy. I'm working here. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about it. Yeah, okay. Machado's a Padre.
I think it's a done deal.
All right, so Bryce Harper, your move. And who knows where that happens.
Yeah. Back on the boycott. I'm not talking about it until it happens.
All right, so Machado to San Diego. And that's all your baseball news for today, I believe. But all players in training. Did you see what Stanton said the other day, by the way?
No.
They asked him, was it a learning experience or anything? Do you feel better in year 2? That kind of stuff. And he goes, no, it's not really about learning. He goes, I know how to play this game. He's like, but, and I'm paraphrasing. This isn't an exact quote. He goes, it was just an adjustment of,
was to stop playing the games that actually matter?
After May 7th.
Yes. I did see that.
A little shot in Miami. He's not wrong, though.
No, he's not.
I mean, that place is empty after April, even during April at times. So, I mean, I think he's poised to have a pretty big season here in year 2.
So.
And I think Judge is as well.
I think he handled his first year in New York pretty good.
I mean, 38 home runs, 100 RBIs. I get people, wanted him to play better in the playoffs. It's the first time he ever played in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. He homered in the wild card game off of one of the best closers in baseball, and Blake Trinan. So, hey, he comes back in year 2. He's more prepared for it. He's seen the pitchers. He knows what to expect. I'll say right, he's hitting over 40 this year. He hit 38 in his first year. He's hitting about 45 this year.
Yeah.
I'll go out and say that. All right. The NFL. It's a year-round thing now. Colin Kaepernick. I've got a lot to say about Colin Kaepernick because he settled out of court in his collusion case along with Eric Reed. The numbers were not disclosed, which tells me that they had something because it is so hard to prove collusion. But I guess the NFL didn't want something to come out. They didn't want to deal with the media backlash of something that Kaepernick's team had. And good for him. He got paid. I've said that he deserves to be in the league. You've said it. But we've also both said he's not getting in. that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
He was offered to play in the AAF. He asked for $20 million. How bad do you really want to play football?
Clearly not that bad.
I don't think he wants to play. He could say he wants to play, but if you want to play football, and maybe he's holding out for the NFL, because people seem to think that after this case, settled, that he's going to get a job back in the NFL. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't see why this changes anything. I think now the NFL is probably collectively saying, all right, that's over. Take a walk. Now we don't have to deal with you anymore. We already paid you, now get out. So yeah. I don't think he's going to end up anywhere. People seem to be saying, oh, well, he could end up in, Carolina. Eric Reed's playing there. He could be the backup to Newton. Somebody recently said that he thinks Robert Kraft and the Patriots are going to take a chance on him. I don't think he's getting in the league. I don't think anybody's signing this guy.
I don't think so either.
And he asked for $20 million to play in the AAF.
Who almost didn't make payroll last week. If you didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. They almost missed their payroll last week.
So what, are they like paying based on what they make on a weekly basis? Like they don't have the money to pay these guys?
I think so, yeah.
That's some dangerous business model.
Not great.
Oh my goodness. And okay, so first the AAF, I tried watching it. It's not good.
I haven't sat down and watched any of it.
Some people like it because there are big hits. Like there have been big hits the first week. Mm-hmm. I don't care about big hits. I like them, but that's not why I watch football. I like good football. I like execution. I like great quarterback play. It's my favorite sport in all of sports. Favorite position in all of sports. The quarterback play is god awful in this league.
All I saw was the quarterback get wrapped up and he had his back away from the play, and he just took both hands and threw the ball over his head for a completion.
Yeah.
I saw that. That's the only clip I've seen in the AAF.
If you did that in the NFL, your coach would powerbomb you through a table when you got back to the sideline.
Yeah.
Just eat. I mean, hey, it worked out. But it's not good football. I'm not going to sit here and watch the AAF on a weekly basis. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. It's like an all-star game for me. It just, I'm not interested. Obviously, an all-star game is more entertaining. I'm just saying it's got the same level of interest for me. I'm out, is what I'm saying. I'm out on the AAF. If they were to link it with the NFL and make it kind of like the minor leagues, where maybe you could send one of your young backup quarterbacks or your young players who are just drafted to play in this league and get the reps, that'd be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool.
Because
make it more watchable.
Now I'd be interested. Because now it's like, this is our affiliate. I could watch some guys that, are trying to make the Packers roster or that the Packers drafted and they're playing it. That would be cool. But whatever this is, I'm almost set. I'm not trying to kill the players. They're talented. Obviously they're just missing out on the NFL. Supposedly this is supposed to be better than the XFL as far as talent. But and maybe you'll start seeing some of these guys play in the NFL. Like maybe you'll see them move on to the NFL. But I'm out. This is not appointment watch for me. I've already made my decision there.
Yeah, I haven't even attempted to sit down and watch it. That's how much I care.
Sorry, I just got a message that I was reading, and I was going to go answer it. I'm like, I don't want to think about this answer right now. NBA had their All-Star game, and my boy Joe Harris took home the three-point contest.
Yeah, he went off.
Beating out Steph Curry, and who was it, Buddy Hield in the final?
I think so.
Buddy Hield.
I didn't get to see the three-point competition.
Buddy Hield flubbed in the final. Just flop. Joe Harris went first in the whole thing, and he scored 25 points. Then I think Buddy Hield scored 26, and then Curry scored 27.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joe Harris won. And it was glorious. I was so happy because it was just like, who is this guy? By the way, the dunk contest, it's Hamidou Diallo did an awesome dunk, one of the best dunks I've ever seen. He jumped over Shaq and did the honey dip, Vince Carter with his elbow in the rim and all that. But I'm more interested in the 3-point contest at this point.
Yeah, it's more exciting to watch, in my opinion,
because the big stars aren't and haven't been going to the dunk contest. It's been an issue for years. LeBron James has never done it. And, I mean, he said one year, the year Dwight Howard won, and what Dwight Howard was doing, he said, I'm tentatively putting in my name for next year, and he didn't do it. He was just,
He's a liar.
Yeah, he was being emotional.
He's a liar. I hate you, LeBron.
And, Giannis Antetokounmpo,
yeah, he said he wanted to do it.
He said he'll do it next year, and then Donovan Mitchell said, if you do it, I'll do it. You want to get me interested, put in the Greek Freak and Donovan Mitchell. So, Machado deal has an opt-out. Yeah, we know that. All right. That would be exciting. Get the stars back involved.
Yeah. I just watched it for Dennis Smith Jr.
I mean, he was the biggest name in it.
Yeah. And the final round was such a fucking letdown.
Yeah.
That was so bad.
Although his dunk that he wasn't able to convert the 360 through the legs with the left hand, and it was kind of like a reverse. Sick. That would have been insane if he would have been able to do that.
Yeah, he just didn't have it left in the tank.
No, his legs were they were shot at that point. But man, I was all juiced up, ready to come on here, talk Machado, talk some baseball, and now we're like in limbo. It's stupid message. But $300 million, that's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, I wish I had $300 million.
You and me both. Will the Yankees regret not signing Machado or Harper? No. No. They'll be fine.
Yeah. They're still going to be top dogs in the American League without Machado or Harper.
I think so. I mean, you still got... The Red Sox need a closer. How about this, man? Craig Kimbrell, Dallas Keuchel, Marwin Gonzalez, obviously Bryce Harper. These are good players.
Just sitting there, jobless.
Sitting there for the taking. Someone's going to jump on them. I would love to see the Yankees sign Marwin Gonzalez.
Wouldn't be bad.
That would be phenomenal. That guy plays every position.
Yeah.
And he's good.
Wouldn't mind it.
But
I don't like the name Marwin, but...
I don't know where to go from here, to be honest with you. I've emptied the tank. I mean, the NHL is it really buzzing? Okay, let's talk about that. Hold on. The Carolina Hurricanes are having like this renaissance season that they weren't supposed to have. They're
coming out of absolutely nowhere.
Out of nowhere. And they're, I think they're, are they in a playoff spot right now, or are they like right on the outside? I think they're just in one. They might make the playoffs.
They might be out in the wild card right now.
Okay. So they've started doing these celebrations after the game is over, and when they win and the team's already off the ice, and it's just they do crazy things. They play baseball, like they pantomime playing baseball. They did one where they were standing across from each other. All these crazy things. They're having fun. It's a very young team. And Don Cherry.
I fucking hate Don Cherry.
Don Cherry's a jackass. I just want to go on the record saying that. And I know he's
slap him and his dumb suits.
And I know he's a legend up in Canada, and they love him. First of all, a man who dresses like that.
Not a legend.
I don't know. He comes out and he just kills them.
Carolina Hurricanes are 1 point out of a wild card spot.
Okay, so they're right there.
Behind Montreal and Pittsburgh.
They can overtake Montreal. I don't think Montreal's all that good, but Don Cherry goes off on this rant about them, how he hates it, and how other guys wouldn't do this, and he's like these guys are a bunch of jerks as far as I'm concerned, And then he's like, I know what I'm talking about. That's my favorite from guys who are angry. I know what I'm talking about.
Old man yelling at the clouds.
Yeah.
It's literally what it is.
And it's like, come on. They're not rubbing it in anyone's face. The team's already off the ice. They're in a dressing room. They're having some fun. And we're not allowed to have fun anymore.
Shout out to the Carolina Hurricanes dropping the bunch of jerk T-shirts.
I might buy one.
Immediately after the comment. It's hilarious.
I might buy one. I don't think I'd ever wear it, but just to have it.
It's a great shirt.
But I have this thing. I don't really wear other teams' paraphernalia. I can't do it.
Nah.
Definitely not hats. You will never see me wearing a hat with a logo on it other than my team's. Can't do it.
Fitteds.
Well, you were young.
Yeah, I had the Cleveland Indians Red Sea Kid Cudi hat basically.
What's their logo now? They got rid of Chief Wahoo.
They're probably gonna rock the Red Sea then.
Just the Red Sea?
Right? I guess.
No more Chief Wahoo.
That's the fitted I had though. I had to support my boy Kid Cudi. That's my guy.
I'm a miss Chief Wahoo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Everything.
I don't find Chief Wahoo offensive.
No.
And nobody else did until, what, last year?
Yeah.
Whatever. What was I talking about before then? Oh, hats. So yeah, I'll wear like jerseys of players I like. Like I own a Jonathan Taves jersey. It's one of my favorite players in the league. I own a Steph Curry jersey. I have an Allen Iverson. Certain jerseys you should just have. But I would never wear like a Blackhawks hat or Warriors hat. I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm past those days.
And I've honestly never even wore the jerseys. So
I have a couple jerseys.
I
have a Ocho Cinco jersey.
Ocho Cinco. Does it say Ocho Cinco on it or Johnson?
It does. It says Ocho Cinco.
It's an Ocho Cinco.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I used to wear it when the Jets played the Bengals in the playoffs back in the Sanchez days, just to get under Jet fan skins. That's really it.
That team couldn't win one playoff game. Not one. Thank God Marvin Lewis is gone. I can't believe they actually fired him.
I know, right?
I thought he was going to be there until I died.
He was hanging on as long as possible.
And then they brought in Zach Chow. They still don't have a defensive coordinator.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I guess guys don't want to work with this guy. I mean, he's a kid, Zach Taylor. And he's the head coach. He was the quarterback coach there, I think. And they just...
I think so.
I don't know. They don't have a defensive coordinator. The draft is... Things are starting to cook up for the draft. People are saying who's going to go where.
Dwayne Haskins to the Giants at 7, apparently.
You don't want him, right?
I don't trust Ohio State quarterbacks. Just my thing.
Who was the last big Ohio State quarterback? Troy,
You can say Troy Smith. Terrell Pryor, who switched to a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Was probably the last one taken. I wrote a blog about it like months ago about how I just don't trust Ohio State quarterbacks, and I just went through like a list of like the last like 6 or 7 drafted. And they just don't pan out. I don't know. Hopefully Haskins does look good. He looks like he has a better arm than Troy Smith had, than Terrell Pryor had. So
well,
we'll see.
And I mean the Giants as of right now are going in with Eli, and he's probably going to be the starter.
Which is, I think, the only move you can make right now.
Unless you sign Nick Foles.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I don't know if Nick Foles is great anywhere but Philadelphia.
that's the issue with that. Do you take the risk of getting Nick Foles in the offseason, then he just goes back to St. Louis? Nick Foles.
I mean, in his defense, that was Jeff Fisher Rams, so they were destined to go 8-8 or worse.
That's true.
But
the occasional 9-7 Jeff Fisher miracle season.
Every once in a while, hey, we got one. Yeah, who knows? I mean, the Giants, they've got a lot of holes on that roster.
Yeah.
Landon Collins is a free agent.
They'll sign him.
Brian
They better
Gutekunst.
sign him.
Brian Gutekunst, get on the phone. Go nab him, please. There's a lot of good free agents this year, by the way. Jadeveon Clowney, Grady Jarrett, Honey Badger's a free agent again. So there's going to be guys out there to, help some teams. But
I think Antonio Brown has been smoking meth the last 3 months.
what was he on? He was on The Masked Singer, wasn't he?
He was on that, but then last night he put out an Instagram live video of himself on an elliptical for 9 minutes, just talking. And he said, "I don't want to be called AB anymore. Call me Mr. Big Chest." And he just said it like 6 times in a row. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, guy? It's like 11:30 at night. We don't care about you riding the elliptical, calling yourself Mr. Big Chest.
I don't want that guy on my team.
What? He's a fucking psychopath.
My girlfriend's a Niners fan, and she's excited about that, possibility. I don't know. I'd rather, because you're probably, to get Antonio Brown, you're probably
gonna give up a lot.
And they'd probably have to give up that second pick.
Which, in my opinion, would not be worth it.
No, sit there, and if you're the Niners, you pick Nick Bosa or Josh Allen. Whoever gets taken first overall. And who knows, maybe somebody who needs a quarterback trades with Arizona. Now you could have whichever one you want.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've already got Jimmy G, as long as he's healthy. I like Jimmy G. I think he's got something. And
Nick Mullins as a backup.
Well, that's
right. Nick Mullins, Chris Mullins.
Yes,
one of those.
Chris Mullins is a head coach of St. John's.
Okay.
NBA legend, Brooklyn's own. But Nick Mullins. But that's more Nick Mullins being productive and C.J. Beathard being productive. That's more of just Kyle Shanahan showing his genius.
Yes,
Kyle Shanahan.
I could agree on that.
Kyle Shanahan, in my opinion, is every bit as good, if not better, than Sean McVay when it comes to offense. He just doesn't have the tools that Sean McVay has. And that's not to knock Sean McVay. Obviously, he just led a team to the Super Bowl. But I think, if you're a San Francisco fan, you are set when it comes to head coach and GM. Let those guys build. That's why they gave them both 5-year deals. They're in very good position. I like what the Niners are building. They just need to get talent. I mean, look, he just turned George Kittle into the best tight end in football.
What a monster he was. Absolute monster.
Unbelievable.
Great personality, too.
He is. And then you got Matt Breida is a good young running back. If he could stay healthy. I mean, he was getting hurt every single week.
Yeah.
But they've got hey, all I'm saying is watch out for the Niners. If they start, they might be building something over there.
Yeah, they might put it together.
And with that, I think we're all wrapped up here.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice, short little episode.
Not much going on, except for the apparent Machado signing.
Manny Machado is the largest free agent deal in American sports history, surpassing A-Rod's 10-year, $275 million deal, which he signed with the Yankees. All right, Mike, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Mikey_DubsNY and on Instagram at Mike_Wimmers, WIMMERS.
You should change that to Mikey_Apex Dubs after last night. We're just getting wins left and right.
Killing it.
And you can find me at JJPix13 on Twitter and at John Picarello on Instagram. JON Picarello, no H. And we will be back next week. Maybe Bryce Harper will have a home.
Maybe.
I think we should record at noon more often. It seems like more news breaks.
Yeah, it worked out well.
Did work out well. We usually, first couple times we record at 10. Then we started to make it 11. It was pushed to noon. It's our day off. We don't do anything till nighttime. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for helping us stop the nonsense. We will be back next week with episode 7. Enjoy your week. And I hope you enjoyed President's Day. Later.
Peace.